are coming in. So as you know, when we create, none of us work completely in a vacuum. We oftentimes stand on the shoulders of the giants who came before us, or through the peer support and help of those who teach us, who guide us, or who just get us through the meltdowns. So the book launch party is our chance to celebrate not only what we have accomplished, but also the people who helped us to accomplish our successes. So without further ado, I'm going to dive into this year's slideshow of our successful books that have come out since last year's book launch party. And I'm thrilled to say that a few of the people who we're going to be celebrating are in this room. A few of the people that we are going to be celebrating are online. And a few of them will be able to introduce their own books. So as we go through, I will be doing a little bit of tech back and forth so you can actually see their lovely mugs while they introduce their books. All right, so the first one, first of all, Book Launch Slideshow 2026. Yeah! Just to show that you are actually achieving something through this program. Thank you. All right, the first one is A Line Can Go Anywhere, The Brilliant, Resilient Life of Artist Ruth Asawa, written by Carolyn McAllister. She has stepped away from studies for a little while, might be coming back at some point, so she is still technically a student. So Caroline, I don't think she's with us. Nope. Oh, that's right, she was traveling. So that's our first one. It's also getting really good reviews and a lot of PR attention. So I don't know, a lot of you in this room might not know Amanda Cockrell. She is the original director of this program, and we all still stick around. So Amanda Cockrell, you want to talk about your book?
Okay, so we're going to do mine
you can
and
stand
then
right
mother's,
here.
or are we going to...
Yours first and then your mom's.
Okay, all right. Well, my parents were screenwriters, and so they lived through the Hollywood blacklist, which was in the late 50s, early 40s, when the government went on a great communist hunt, which mostly amounted to trying to arrest people that it thought were too left-wing and who didn't agree with its policies or who otherwise made trouble. And a lot of people were hauled up before a House committee called the Committee on Un-American Activities and grilled about whether they were a communist or not. It was not, I might add, illegal to be a communist, but that didn't matter. So people's careers got ruined. People named other people. They wondered, well, who are your friends? You went to one meeting of the Communist Party 15 years ago. That is enough to do you in. Who else was there? And people were encouraged to turn in their friends. If all of this is sounding a little close to home, that's kind of why I think this book is probably important, for other reasons than the fact that I wrote it and I like it.
All right, next slide.
And this book is by my mother, and it came out originally in 1945 in hardcover for McGraw-Hill, and then it had a very long and checkered career of going out of print because the publisher didn't renew the copyright, getting pirated by an outfit called Buccaneer Books, taking back as much as we could of it, and finally we added 6 chapters that had not been in the original and copyrighted that version, so much for Buccaneer Books. And this is our new edition of it with the original cover art from the original hardcover's jacket and the original illustrations, including on the interior, by Olive Bailey. And they really are wonderful. They are copies of it out front if you want to look at the illustrations. They're well worth it. And this is about a little girl who goes through a tunnel in a mountain and finds an enchanted valley, and which turns out to be on the borders of fairyland. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm out of time.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, great. So those of you who were intimidated, that's all you got to do. All right. Our next book is The Redeemed Reader, edited by alumni Betsy Farquhar, I hope I'm saying that right, I'm sure I'm not, and Megan Sabin. I don't think they are with us, but I'm going to double check. Tina is with us. Yep, they're not with us, so. Our next title is Books on Horseback, The Pack Horse Librarians of Kentucky, written by alumna and professor Candace Ransom. Who in here has had Candace as a professor? Yeah. Oh, wow. That's nice. Yep. And you guys too. She got her MA in Children's Lit in 2007 from Hollins University. And I love that photograph of her. That's her in all of her joy. Isn't that lovely? Unfortunately, she's not with us to introduce it herself, so not at the moment. All right. The next book is Breakout by Danielle Clayton, who, if you know about Danielle, she's a New York Times bestseller, has 3 book packaging companies that she started, basically changing the face of publishing single-handedly. Some of her movies or books have been made into Netflix series. She is an alumna and a professor. She teaches long-form writing. Will be teaching this fall, and got her MA in Children's Lit in 2009 from Hollins. Oh, we got Andy Leving is coming. Okay. All right, our next one, and this one is with us, so let me see if I can get where you guys can see her. First of all, really look at the title because I've got to turn that off so that Claudia can talk to us. So let me stop share, and I've got to change the screen. Oh, that'll work great, Claudia. Hang on, and let me change the view that everybody here is seeing. Choose window here, this window. There's Claudia.
I wish I were there right in this room. Oh, how I love Hollins and all the summers that I have spent there. Well, this is my brand new book. It has a very long title. Calliope, Callisto, Clark, and the Search for Wisdom. The title is so long that my name had to be very, very small. And I had a double life. I was a children's book author and I was a philosophy professor at the University of Colorado for almost a quarter of a century. A lot of my children's books had philosophical themes, and a lot of my philosophy courses included children's literature. But this was the first time I ever had one of my characters directly encounter some of the great works of philosophy that were so transformative to me when I was young and now that I'm old. And so on the cover is my very favorite philosopher, the Stoic Epictetus, and he has some wisdom that's very important for all of us. I'll just give you a spoiler of his wisdom. It sounds very simple, but it's very hard to do. He says there's 2 kinds of things in life. There's things you can control and things you can't. There are things that are up to us and things that are not. And which should you think you should focus on? Answer the things you can control. And so that's part of, so I knew I wanted to write a book about a girl who would fall in love with ancient Greek philosophy. So I created the character of Callie. I wanted her to have a need for wisdom, and she does. Callie is in 6th grade. She's emotionally intense. She's intellectually precocious, but she still has meltdowns. She still has freakouts. She takes everything so hard. She's being raised by her grandparents because her parents died when she was young. They are doing their best with her, but she's a challenge. To sort of help even out her moods, to calm her down a little, they get her a dog. The dog now is as big a problem as Callie. And when her grandmother is hastening to the phone to get yet another phone call home from her teacher and trips over Callie's overexuberant dog and falls and breaks her wrist, they decide that the dog is going to have to be rehomed. This just isn't worked out. Isn't working out if Callie can't shape up. And I have to say, I wrote this scene with the grandmother 2 months before I tripped over an overexuberant granddaughter and broke my elbow. So, life imitates art. So that's why Callie is desperate for wisdom. And this is a book about how she seeks and then tries to find it. And I really like that. Of course, anyone would like this. It got a star review from Kirkus, but they said the best thing about the book, they said it's a love letter to seekers. And that's what I wanted it to be.
Marvelous.
Oh, and my son for Christmas gave me this little bust of Epictetus, and his wife, he asked her to knit a little purple scarf, a little doll-sized scarf, and the first one was too big, but so she knit another one. And so I have a little shrine to my book with my cover and with my little 3D printed bust of Epictetus.
Wait, Claudia, hold them up real quick. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That's great.
It is really, it's the best, he gives the best presents ever. This is the best present I ever got.
That's great. Thank you. All right. Sorry, I gotta get back to this. 2 seconds. Change. All right. All right. The next one is Enough Elizabeth, written and illustrated by our student, Lexi Hall, who's studying an MFA in writing and illustrating. Lexi's going to tell us a bit about hers.
Hi everyone, I am so excited to share this with you. I'm so proud of this book. It's published by Lucky Rabbit Publishing, and they reached out to me after my second summer at Hollins through my SCBWI profile, and I was just so surprised and honored, and I had so much fun drawing all the artwork, and couldn't have done it without my education at Hollins that I'm still continuing. But yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's perfect. Wonderful. All right, the next one is by Jen Barton. I will let her introduce her book because she's also here.
Okay, hi everybody. Gosh, I'm so jealous, like Claudia, that you guys are there. I would love to be there too. So basically what I want to say about Forest Bath is a picture book. It's a fun, there's wordplay on bathing words that helps introduce the concept of forest bathing. But more importantly, it's very cute, and I think you'd like it if you checked it out. But this book has Hollins all over it. The reason that this book happened, and I don't know who's there in the audience, but a few of you know this story. I did an internship years ago with Imagination Press. And because of the internship through Hollins, I knew what the editor was looking for, which was a book on forest bathing. So I had to try. And so at the end of my internship, I submitted the manuscript. She did not want it, passed on it. Cool. So like next year, I'm on campus at Hollins in seminar, and I must have done, this is probably the 13th revision of this manuscript that I worked through over and over and over in seminar. And I'm telling you, this one came out at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It's the end of the summer, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do another revision for seminar. Anyway, all of that to say, I could not have done this book without Hollins. And yeah, I'm so proud to be part of the Hollins community, and proud to have Forest Bath out there. So thank you.
Jen. Congratulations. Thanks. All right, our next one is by our very own Jimmy Wimmer. Come on up.
I bet you want to know what this cat looks like, right? This was the hardest thing to do because I didn't want to show you what the cat looked like, just the expressions of the people. And I imagined that Cubism may have been started because of this cat. And a certain little boy just found beauty in the way he looked. So you'll have to check it out. And he does love muffins. I was a little bit in a rush with this, and I had a lot of folks interested in it. Unfortunately, Pixar is coming out with a Gato next year, and it's a black cat with little blue highlights. And I was like, no! So I did do this on my own. I independently publish. I'll talk a little bit more about that tonight. But yeah, written, and it's a little bit Spanish and English. So it's a way to introduce kids in a classroom who are bilingual, and I always love that because the little girl who doesn't speak English yet is so excited when she sees this and she can participate. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so the next one is Sea Ponytails, Marina Meets Bubbles, written and illustrated by alumna Jessica Lee Anderson, who graduated with an MA in Children's Lit in 2024. This is part of a series, by the way. If you follow Jessica, she is quite prolific and has done quite a lot of books. The next one is actually an adult book. That's okay. We let that happen. So this is Ruinous Creatures, written by alumna Jessie Cole Jackson, who also does a lot of short stories. Next one, we have Jacqueline is here, so come on up, Jacqueline.
So, hello everyone. This was my master's thesis that I wrote for the Hollins University program, And I did graduate in 2017, and I had many wonderful professors here. Candace Ransom was one of my professors. Amanda Cockrell was the director at the time, and Alexandra LaFay was also part of my journey. And I took a couple of workshops from Elizabeth, and I also had Nancy Ruth Patterson as the teacher as well. And I have all of them to thank, along with my grandparents and my parents and family and friends. And I'd also like to thank Heavenly Father for guiding me through this journey. My story is about a little girl who's Native American and Irish, and it is a historical fiction mystery written for middle grade. It's a novel. It takes place in Boston and in a place called Scituate in Massachusetts. And it is about a unsolved crime that is a true crime in that area of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. It's about this little girl's journey to find out who committed the crime, how to resolve all of the ins and outs of the 13 works that go stolen from that particular art heist, and also find her place in the world, because she has two loves. She loves art and she loves nature. And there's a bit of herbalism in there, and she also has family conflict to resolve as well. So that's a little bit about my story in a nutshell.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. Next one is Song of the Land, celebrating the works of Mildred D. Taylor, edited by Professor Michelle Martin. A Darjeeling tea mystery, The Golden Necklace, written by Professor Mitali Perkins, who had to zoom out, so unfortunately she's not here at the moment. I know. And When Twilight Comes, The Animals and Plants That Bring Dawn and Dusk to Life, written by alumna Marcy Flinsham Atkins, who is here.
Thank you. Yes, and I was here with Amanda as well. I was one of the lucky people who got to do the MA and then slide into the MFA program when it was brand new. So that was really fun. This also, I would say, even though it's a more recent book, it definitely has come out of Hollins, and it is about the plants and animals that come out at twilight, but it is very specific to Virginia. So all the plants and animals in this book are Virginia natives. And also, in one of the, it's written by me, illustrated by Michelle Morin, who's based in Maine. This is her first picture book, I believe, and published by Chronicle. But one of the great things, one of the pages, and I'm sorry it's kind of small to see, there are some skunks, and right behind this building, I definitely saw this very scene happening where you had the mama skunk and all the little babies like together. So that was, definitely inspired by Hollins. And my dedication was actually to my grandparents who lived just outside of Blacksburg, and was, thanking them for the magic of Virginia summers. And I know that you probably have experienced a little bit of that at Hollins this summer. I actually live in Northern Virginia now. I used to live in Roanoke for a little bit more than 20 years. So I, love the Virginia summers. Is it okay if I read the first page? Sure. Okay. If you wake in the early morning, when dark gives way to light, it's dawn, the first twilight of the day. The darkness dwindles into a pastel sky as squash bees zip around zucchini, pollinate pumpkins, wiggle as buds open anew. Fuzzy legs dotted with pollen become buffets for babies. They speed from bloom to bloom before other bees bumble into the garden. All right. Thank you.
Cool. Congratulations. All right. We had a wonderful session with Michelle Jabez Corpora earlier in the semester, and she is indeed celebrating the second book in her The Throne of Katara series, and the latest one is called She Knows All the Names, and I'm still reading it, and it's so good. It's so good. All right, and finally we have one last one. So I don't know if anybody remembers Lori Edwards. I used to joke that we only ever saw the top of her head because she was always typing on her laptop. She is indeed incredibly prolific, and under the pseudonym of Rachel J. Good, she does a romance series of Quaker romance I know that sounds like an odd combination, but she's got more than 65 books published at this point. And this is not a picture of Lori, obviously. This is her new grandson and her favorite reader at 1 month old. She wanted to share that one. So, believe it or not, that went really quick. That was this year's launch, but we are celebrating every book that comes out from our wonderfully talented students and faculty and teachers. Rainy Day Reads has a lot of these books available for sale out there, and the people who are here are happy to sign them for you. All right, so once again, congratulations to all of our producers, our successful authors and illustrators. Big hand for everybody all around, all around. Thank you, guys.